lately I've been thinking about all the jobs that I've had since university. Like all of the things that I've done that somehow led me to where I am today. And I keep asking myself, I even wrote this down. Will any of these experiences actually help me build the creative future that I want? Or were they just, as I call them, filler episodes? Since graduating, I've jumped quite a bit with these jobs. I mean, some of them make sense, some of them really don't. And even though I don't want this, I don't want this to sound like a job interview. So this is not like a CV rundown. I'm just going back and like telling you about my jobs, and maybe there are some commonalities. We will see. Let's start off with the marketing years. The job that technically started it all, my marketing agency job. It was, first of all, it was part-time and remote because the company was from Singapore. So, and this happened while I was still in uni. So I worked there for 3 years, which honestly feels like forever compared to everything else that I've done. Yeah. And I swear I learned more in this job than I ever did in university. The perfect job at the time because I was basically working in something that I was learning. So I was putting practice theory, how is it? Theory into practice? Yeah. Then came one of my favorite places, the dance studio. So let's call this the dance chapter. It started off as an unpaid internship and then became my job after I graduated. So I did a bit of everything in this job. I was working in the front desk, I was filming classes, editing videos, creating graphics, writing newsletters, helping with the website. I met people there that I'm still friends with today, so that was one of the perks of the job, was that I was working with friends. So it was a lot of fun. And I could also use the studio to practice, and I also got free dance classes. So that was also pretty good. One of the managers at the studio asked me to help her with a personal branding project, which is where it comes the personal project job. This manager, she was curating for a dance festival in Vancouver, as in Vancouver, Canada. And I was helping her redo her website, so changing kind of like her visuals, her graphics to kind of show what she's done over the years. Then came my random side quests. I joined this light and sound program at a local theater because basically they were paying young people to learn because there weren't enough people interested in being in these departments. So every Thursday afternoon for a few months I was there learning how a theater actually runs behind the scenes, all the part about sound design, light design. And then after that finished, because it was just a program for a few months, but it was great because it was paid as well, and I got to meet a lot of people so interested in this type of creative industry. So after that, summer came around and I worked for a sports supplement company, for 3 months. So same marketing vibe, but this time we were filming people on the street and asking them about their workout routines. So I was basically the cameraman while the CEO was coming with me and asking people, and this was all for social media, of course. This is around the same time I started questioning if I really wanted to stay in marketing. This was also the only time that I had a full-time job. Yeah, this is the only 9-to-5 job that I've had so far. So naturally, I did what every confused person does, right? I enrolled in a graphic design course. Yeah, big mistake. I had worked with graphic designers before when I was at the marketing agency, and I thought that their job was really cool because they were able to actually do everything, put everything onto an idea onto paper. And I was thinking, oh, maybe that job would be for me. But no. I mean, I didn't enjoy the course. It was a really good course, but the reason that I didn't enjoy it was because I realized that I liked coming up with ideas, but not spending 8 hours aligning boxes perfectly. I wanted to design a concert stage, and it took me like an hour to 2 hours to just design the stairs. Quite an experience. It lasted for a few months because I just wanted to know the basics, and I thought that it would be like a path for me to go on. But no, I didn't want to like extend the experience, let's say. And then the events era, let's name it like that. After that, while I was doing the graphic design course, I think it was my last month at the course when a friend of mine referred me to a job in events and marketing. And it was supposed to be a half and half job, so half events, half marketing. But it quickly became a full-on events role. So packing suitcases, setting up tables, setting up yoga mats, going from one place in the city to the other in a couple of hours, attending 2 to 3 wellness events a week, and reporting back on them. It was a lot. And around the same time, because this event was part-time, I was also working at a museum. So I joined a museum's youth collective, which is basically a group of young people creating events to attract younger audiences to the museum. And it was part, creative brainstorming, part production, and fully inspiring. Yeah, we even organized a network event for young people that wanted to get into film and the TV industries. So we invited a lot of like producers, and we invited production coordinators, we invited writers. Yeah, it was really good. And it was probably the job that I loved the most. Yeah, also the job that I spent the least amount of hours doing. So then there's my Bollywood debut. Okay, maybe not like debut, because that's kind of a stretch. I was basically a film extra for a day. I applied through a casting portal for a role as a university student at Oxford University. So my job, I was in London, so I had to travel. I traveled for 2 hours to Oxford by train to do this job. And my job was just sit in an auditorium at Oxford University, which, now thinking of it, really cool. And just pretend to take notes and look smart while the actor was kind of giving a lecture on like zombies or vampires or something like that. And the movie actually comes out in 2026. So who knows if my face even made it in, but I can technically say, I was in a Bollywood film. Yeah. So yeah, that's the list. It's messy, and also most of the time, as you can tell, there were a lot of part-time jobs that I was juggling. Sometimes 2 to 3 jobs at the same time. The marketing agency, the dance studio, were at the same time. The dance studio and the personal branding project for the curator were also at the same time. Then my side quest was also around the same time of those two, so I was doing 3 jobs at the same time. The sports supplement, the only one that I had, the only full-time job that I've had, and that was the only one that I was doing. And then the graphic design course, I was doing it for a couple months, and then I got the events job. And then while I had the events job, I was doing the museum job. And then on a random day, I did the film extra thing. So the question now is, after all of this, will any of these skills actually transfer into the industry that I want to be in? I guess we will find out.